Welcome back to another episode of Viewer Discretion. As always, I am joined by my co-host, David Dennis Jr., to discuss television, entertainment. I say entertainment because we're going to be discussing Golden Globes nominations.
Yeah.
Awards ceremony. But before we get to that, we are going to continue recapping Pluribus. We're going to do that until the end, which is episode 9. I thought there was 10 episodes. I just found out there are 9.
Yeah.
Put a pin in that because it doesn't feel like enough based on where things are. Before we get into this episode and everything that happens, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
If you were alone on a highway in an empty world in a dream car, what song would you be singing to yourself at the top of your lungs? Would it be as literal as all of Carol's choices?
It would be, just reinforced the bad taste that she has in life. Like there's like nothing says bad hang like listening to The End of the World as we know it, or singing It's the End of the World. It would probably be some sort of Outkast song, I think, that I would be rapping along at the top of my lungs. And it'd be an obscure one, a deep cut probably.
I think that it's funny because I am not a good singer. I've never been a good singer. And I think I'm also afraid to sing unless I'm in a crowd.
You don't sing in the car?
Not really. I've been singing Jingle Bells because my son just goes Jingle Bells every time we get in the car.
Okay.
But it is kind of funny. Like part of the fact that I don't sing is because of other people. And I guess in the car I could sing. I don't know. I do wonder if I would try to sing real songs. Like I'm the person who goes to karaoke and does a rap song because I don't want to sing in front of people.
Gotcha. What's the rap song? What is the rap song?
We don't need to. Staying Alive, the Fugees version is one that I'll hit. I did like her going to the one choice I agreed with, which is a choice I think I would make too. Hot in here as she's naked in this hot spring.
Yeah.
Take off all my clothes. I'm like, yeah, you know what?
Because you did ask the Nelly,
Yes.
I saw the thing about which Nelly song,
yeah.
and Hot in Here was absolutely my number one with a bullet. And so I'm glad that Carol is on the same page.
Hot in Here is the correct choice, but I think nobody wants to say it because it's the obvious choice. It's like picking the most expensive wine at a restaurant. You always want to pick the second or the cheapest wine rather. Okay. So yeah. So before, again, the other thing I want to start off, episode 6, banger episode.
Yeah.
She's around other people. She's around Kumba. We learn a lot of information. We see Manousos. We find out he's going to go meet her. It's very exciting. And then this episode pulls back again because we think we're going to get this finally this meetup between Carol and Manousos, our man in Paraguay. But we do not. Once again, we watch them alone, which is a decision I want to ask you about because I think in the context of the story, it makes sense. It brings up ideas. We get a moment with Carol, a bit of an epiphany. Artistically, I get it. I do want to say, though, as a viewer, I was a little bit like, they're alone again, because I really wanted to see them meet, and it's being delayed.
Yeah, I think that they're making it so the payoff has to be worth it. Like the payoff has to be, the more it's delayed, the more I need to see them together, and it has to be really this explosive thing. So we're building to that. My hope is that that's not the last episode. We have another, but it seems like they're not going to meet till the end of the season, if then, because he's got to get healthy. She's got to do her thing. I don't know. Like, I think the big picture thing with Pluribus is sort of what we tapped on last week is like, what do you do when the main character is the person you want to see the least in the show? And I think that's a problem that not even I don't know if it's a problem, but I think that's one of the things that the show is like wrestling with is I want to see Carol less than I want to see anybody else in the show. And we're getting so much more of her.
She's divisive. I think I don't have as strong as a reaction as you, and a lot of other people I've talked to about the show are like, this woman is just hard to spend. And I think that also just generally, it's very rare for you to watch a television show for anyone and to only spend time with one character.
Yeah.
So there's like this, she's like this load bearing, like there's so much on her. We're around her. And that continues in this one, although in a very different fashion, because the last episode ended with her realizing she's going to be fine. Basically, they're not going to turn her, but also realizing that she's very alone in every way, and not even alone in the context of like everything crazy that's happening in the show. The group chat has left her out.
Yeah.
And her reaction to this, which is like the first chunk of the episode is what we were joking about at the beginning. Like, she just kind of decides, F it. I'm going to do the hedonistic version that basically Kumba has been doing, but without involving any of the hive mind people. So a real quick recap. She goes to a gas station and asks for a red Gatorade. Is mad because it's not. First of all, red Gatorade, terrible choice.
Bad choice. Like, again, bad taste. Red Gatorade it's the orange Gatorade is the one you get. It's the one.
White Gatorade, the Frost, is my favorite.
That came along later. That is new generation.
That's
Gatorade.
a modern Gatorade. Yeah,
that is
by far the best
newfangled Gatorade
flavor. She wins like a $10,000 lottery ticket and kind of laughs. She gets fireworks from there. She goes golfing. She's really into golfing. I like all the choices. It's, you know, we see a close up of some animals. So in that scene, she's singing REM on the way back with the fireworks. With the golfing scene, she sings the Kenny Loggins song "I'm All Right" from Caddyshack, which is, again, very funny choice. She switches from the cop car to a Rolls Royce with "Just Married" written on the back. She goes on the highway and sings "Born to Be Wild" by Steppenwolf. The Hot in Here and the Hot Spring While Naked. She goes to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. I love the, New Mexico, and she sings Georgia on My Mind while stealing a painting. Very, again, hilarious.
Also, no human being knows the words to all these songs, right? Like she's got to be just singing the hook to all these songs. There's no way you're going verses and hooks in these songs also. Like Georgia on My Mind, like, come on.
This might be cultural. I don't. But some people do. I'm always surprised when people
like you're not doing hooks and verses on these songs.
No, I think that's fair. Well, we don't see her singing the whole songs. So
right. She's just got to be repeating the hooks in the same way that Manousos repeating his slogan.
His English lessons. And then this part ends with her dining alone. She gets all dolled up. She goes to a restaurant, and then she requests memorable meals. And instead of singing at this point, she sees a self-playing piano and has it play "I Will Survive" by Gloria Gaynor. Okay, so there's a lot to discuss and unpack here. I guess I do want to start with like the before I get to what I do want to revisit the conversation of what would we do, because I think I blew past you talking about getting the donuts too fast. Did you feel like this fleshed out your understanding of her as a character? Like, how did you feel about this sequence generally and what it did for the story?
I mean, I don't know. Like, it didn't really do much for me. So here's the question. I'm gonna throw a question back at you. Without really. But so there's been a lot of Skylar talk with this.
Okay.
And we got to do the Skylar conversation.
Breaking Bad.
It's part of
divisive character, but also a lot of the hate was kind of misogynistic.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So what are you seeing out there?
So, I mean, I think because there's the Skylar thing, who I can never forget was voted the most hated character of like the decade or something like that, which is insane in the world where like Joffrey lives, for example, right? Like, she was worse than, and again, like a lot of this misogynistic idea of who she is. She was not a perfect character. Everybody in Breaking Bad sucked. I think it was kind of unfair.
She's not that. Whatever. Okay, yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's insane. There's so many more annoying, offensive characters and evil characters. Not even evil characters. Like, I don't know. I can do the daughter on 24.
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. Or what's his name from Power? The son from Power, which is Tariq. Tariq is a terrible person. But and so there's this idea of Vince Gilligan creating a character that is people feel is as unlikable as Skylar, and trying to make her, like, he's trying to retcon Skylar in some sort of way or make a character like her. I don't know. I think that there's Skylar is in the conversation of this show, like in the background, almost like a character of this show and everything that Carol is doing. And I just think we just got to talk about Skylar as in relation to Carol, because like when I'm watching Carol do this thing, I can relate to the fact that, yes, I would probably do these things as like we talked about, but at the same time, it doesn't make me like her or want to know more about her.
They're making specific choices, which is she is doing things that are very like on brand for a wealthy white woman who lives, like, she, the golfing, for example.
Yeah. I mean, the cop car from before was,
The cop car,
yeah.
and then it again an interesting choice to switch to the Rolls Royce of the just married car, which there's something kind of unpack about that as well.
Yeah.
I feel like going to the museum, stealing art. I do feel like this whole scene we're learning about her.
Yeah.
I don't think it's meant to make us like her or which is kind of like how I felt about Skylar and a lot of the seasons of Breaking Bad. His goal was not to make like a cool, likable woman.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to be his goal generally with television, to like make us like these characters or even relate to them necessarily. It's to tell a story. And so I think this whole sequence, while again, like, it was kind of funny, I think it served the purpose of the story of showing her at her breaking point and what it takes for her to get to the breaking point, which is she tries survival. The episode's called The Gap. And there's a literal gap, which we will get to with Manousos. But I think for her, it's like a gap in her story, which is the first 6 episodes. There's action. There's her trying to solve a mystery. There's her trying to convince other people to give a shit. There's her trying to like do all this stuff. And then this is her gap. She's like, you know what? Screw it. Everybody hates me. The world is ending. I'm just going to like do the stuff that I enjoy. I'm going to drink my red Gatorade. I'm going to go golfing. I'm going to go to a hot spring. I'm going to steal George O'Keeffe's painting.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's I think just it's from a story perspective, it's not like super satisfying, but I understand why they did it.
Yeah. I mean, it does sort of humanize her in a way of like, I would do it too, of humanize her in a way of saying like, she's been so steadfast and I'm going to save the world and doing things that, would kind of feel unnatural, but now she's tried and it's like, forget it. It's very, to me, it kind of was reminiscent of like how I lived during the pandemic. It was just kind of like the rules don't matter. This is just what it is. This is just, and it kind of felt like that. It kind of felt like you have given up on a lot of things.
But that's what their existence is now, right? Yeah. Like, unless you decide that you are going to try to figure this out, which is what Manousos is doing. He is propulsive. He is on a mission. You're just kind of muddling along.
Yeah.
And that brings me to the conversation I do want to have, because I breezed over it when you first brought it up, which is, what would you do in this world?
Yeah.
Setting aside, like, you want to solve it, you want to connect with people, you want to figure out what's going on. How else would you pass the time? So I thought about it, and it was really hard for me because, and this is not to be like too navel gazing here, but so much of like how I even enjoy myself has, one, it's either in the company of others, or two, if it's not, there's like something in the end. Like, I would like to get better at stuff. I don't know, maybe that's corny, but it was hard for me to think of things I would do in this scenario.
Yeah, for me, as somebody who is like an omnivert, I think, is like, I like to go and like I'm at home a lot, especially like before this stuff. I was just kind of at home and writing a lot, and I would need to leave at some point and be around people, but I didn't really want to talk to people. So I just kind of would go places where the energy is like there. So I would think I would just kind of like fill up a bar with people that don't talk to me and just like, do that sort of stuff. But also I would also curate the best music, the best concert, the best festival lineup of all time. I would just put a festival from top to bottom.
Would the concert work for you though, if you knew that they were robots?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure they got the talent. They still got the talent. I put Outkast on stage and like reunite Outkast and play the hits and like give me like 10,000 people around me, Yeah,
I'd like to. So, normally I don't travel by myself anymore, but there were earlier in my career when I would go on trips, like reporting trips. I went to Istanbul, for example. I loved going to a city and exploring it on my own. So I was thinking, like, in this scenario, would I be like, you take me to like, I want to see the world. I want to see this. I want to see this. I want to see this every day. But I'm like, would I enjoy that? Can life be enjoyed if it's not going anywhere?
Yeah.
Even something like, I don't know, like, I'd love to see some of the natural wonders of the world. I genuinely don't know if I would enjoy it in these circumstances. It's weird.
No, that's a good point because like we went to Mexico City a couple weeks ago, and we like one thing to do is just kind of explore, right? But a part of that exploration is like you walk by a restaurant and you see like very
Yeah.
going back to the avocado toast thing. Like you walk by and you see a table and you see somebody eating and enjoying the food and the vibe of the place, and you're like, I want to try that. Like
Yeah.
you kind of learn how to experience the world just by watching other people. And it's kind of weird to be there and you're like, it's the Great Wall of China and there's nobody there. There's nobody else taking pictures. You're just like there and you're seeing it. And I'm sure it's beautiful, but I
Yeah.
think the people make the thing also what it is.
Right. And the ability to not just share experiences with people in the moment, be able to like tell people.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
again, like, I don't know. I like to do things with a hypothetical eye towards the way it will enrich my life in the future in some unknown way.
Yeah.
But there's no like future that you care about. Can you really enjoy stuff? I don't know. It's
Yeah.
she
How
knows.
is it going to inform what I do next? And I'm not
Yes, yes.
sure that's going to inform how I feel about anything else that I'm going to do
That's a
because I'm
great
the
way to
only
put it.
person around.
Yes, I think I love seeing things and trying new things, not just so I can like post it on the gram or
Mm.
whatever. But I guess I harbor this belief that like it will somehow matter
Yeah.
to myself, my existence, and how I relate to other. I don't know. It's that's why I like to travel.
Yeah.
It's funny because I wrote down like I was trying to think of things I would do, and I was like, try foods I've never tried. Yeah, I could think I could do that.
Yeah.
I was like, find out all the government secrets, but it's like, okay, you found out like if the aliens, you get into the alien files. Well, first
Yeah.
of all, not relevant in this scenario, but okay. Would
What
you
does that
even
mean?
want to know if you couldn't tell anyone?
Right. Right.
I don't know. It all seems very unfulfilling for her. She doesn't even look that happy doing any of it. She's just kind of going through the motions. The self-playing piano was a great bit
Yeah.
because it is like kind of it's a very early tech version of
Yeah.
AI in a way. And what
Yeah.
like does music sound good? If
Now I would eat some good like as I'm trying to save the world, I would also be like, hey, give me the like Kazunori hand roll for lunch while I'm like figuring out how to like solve all of the world's ills. Like I would eat good the whole
I would
time,
eat good,
probably.
yeah. I would. Yeah, but it's so funny too because I think about eating and not like I'm always like, but I like to be moderate.
Mhm.
I'm like, what does it matter in this scenario?
Yeah.
It become gigantic. I don't know. It's
I thought a lot about my appearance also in this scenario. Is like what
who
would you
cares?
work out? Would you
Yeah, like
be
why should you be
healthy?
dressed up for the dinner?
Yeah, why would you do anything but wear? I mean, I guess she did it to make herself. Like I have gone on solo meals and like I'm gonna look like get pretty for a solo meal and nobody's gonna. I don't care who like that's. But on a day to day or just like, should I not eat all of this food? Should I just like
Yeah.
not eat drink a milkshake for breakfast? Like these sort of things kind of would again back to COVID because like
Yeah, it is
these are
it
the
is
questions I asked during COVID.
we didn't talk about that, but COVID does seem to be also
Hmm.
I don't know how much of it is, but generally you and I talked about the show a lot through the lens of AI, and the creator has said it's not about AI, but like that's right now it
Right.
is, I think, impossible to watch this show as a viewer and not think about it.
Hmm.
But also a lot of it is about other humans and why we need them.
Yeah.
And we'll get to the Carol epiphany at the end and whether we need them and what we need from them. And I think a lot of us confronted that in COVID for the
Yeah.
first time in the way that you're describing.
Yeah. It feels like a COVID show. It feels like the things, I mean, especially for somebody like Carol who like lived alone during COVID. Like how must that have felt to live alone and be so isolated? I mean, I was not living alone at the time, but it was very isolating in my existence at the time. And so like it's terrible. And like my definitive COVID day is the kids wanted like a oven made pizza, which I had not done oven made pizzas, but COVID, whatever, for lunch. And then like we finished the pizza and I was like, I want another pizza for dinner, and like order Domino's. Like that was like the definitive, like we've reached rock bottom. And I've thought about that while I was watching Carol, like just, go through her
Yeah.
day.
Rock bottom for me was when my husband and I watched all 10 episodes of Cobra Kai in one night. I remember it distinctly, it being like 2 a.m. It was the finale. And I was like, should we? And he was like, what's stopping us?
We're already here.
We looked at each other and like, we didn't like what we saw. And it's funny because I think I thought of myself as an introvert before COVID, or someone who doesn't need, but like the joy you would experience when you actually did get to see other people out in the wild wearing our masks at our like dorky hangs.
Yeah.
It was a real thing. Okay. We'll get to her moment at the end, because that's kind of where this is all going. But there's a long interlude with Manousos, who, in contrast to Carol, is just on a mission. He is driving from South Paraguay through Central America. He's trying to get to New Mexico. He is listening to English language tapes along the way. He is continuing his kind of confusing. It's like he's got this code of not wanting to be helped. So he's just kind of stealing gas.
Paying people for the gas.
Or sorry, paying people, yes. Yeah. Taking it and paying people, and like living off the land, essentially. There's some moments we listen to the English language. There's also like a lot of like clear resonance. Like one of the things he keeps repeating is the girl saves the mouse from the trap. And I was like, you're talking about Carol there. Yeah. Before we get to the moment where he gets to the gap and what that means, what did you make of this whole sequence? And because it's, it's long.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot, but again, a little bit more compelling than Carol. What it felt like was that,
too.
I was like, I would take that road trip. Like, let's see what how he drove. What to me was, it felt like a doomed trip always, because he was leading towards where Carol is now. That's what it felt like. Like he is going to be
at second to he's driving towards.
Yeah, he's going to go to this place where he will eventually quit to, and that's where, and so that made it feel even more sort of a tragic trip that he was taking. Like you're going and you're going to eventually learn all the stuff Carol did, and you're going to be overwhelmed by it. And you're going to be eating, taking yourself out to dinner too, and you're going to get broken down by this same thing.
Yeah. He also notably has not seen Carol's second tape, right? He only saw the first one.
Yeah, he only saw the first one. Yeah.
He is working with some imperfect information. But yeah, you're right. Like showing her at rock bottom before we see his journey does imbue it with a sense of foreboding. He does seem to be built of sterner stuff than our girl, though. This dude is tough.
Yeah.
I will say okay, actually, before I say how I feel about the way he's going about it, I do want to talk about the confrontation he has, because I think it's really significant. So he gets to the jungle, and so he arrives, there's no more roads, there's only one way through. A bunch of locals show up, and a guy speaks to him who's obviously a hive mind guy, and basically tells him, don't do this, man. The Darien is too dangerous. He gives him it's a great scene, like detailed description of how dangerous it is. He says, we don't mean to harp on hydration, but he brings up these chunga palms with spiky. The second he said that, I was like, oh god, we're gonna see those. And so before we get to Manousos' response, I will say, so after seeing this, I hit pause and I looked this up. So really fascinating. I had never known about this. The Darien Gap is basically the only land bridge between the North and South America, and it's very hard. I had no idea to get from South America to North America. It says there's no road. This is from Wikipedia. The gap interrupts the Pan American Highway, which breaks in Panama and resumes in Colombia, roughly 66 miles away. Infrastructure development has long been constrained by logistical challenges. Currently, there's no active plan to make a road. People take small boats or traditional watercraft across. Hiking remains the only feasible option. It is considered extremely dangerous. I kind of wish that you kind of made this clearer on the show.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what I wanted to mention to you because it
I had
wasn't
no clue.
obvious to me. Yeah, like he gets to the end, I'm like, bro, just find another road. I feel like they didn't clarify that enough.
Yeah, we looked up the spikes because it was like, is this a thing? But that gap did not know about it. No.
Yeah, it was like a little confusing.
Yeah.
Especially because again, like you're as a viewer, you with Carol, you don't love her, but you understand a lot of her decisions.
Right.
With Manousos, I think you like him, but I'm like, why are you doing it this way?
Yeah, yeah.
I think we find out a lot about why in this moment because he responds and he gives this. It's great every time this dude talks. It's like amazing. He rebukes them. And he says, nothing on this planet is yours.
Yeah.
It's all stolen, and he burns it. So what was your reaction to I had a lot of thought. What was your reaction to that moment when he just basically tells him to F off?
We have a bad we have our Gus Fring, like a good guy Gus Fring. And it was also very much like a colonizer metaphor statement that he's making there. It's clear, and he burns his car and in protest basically of this, which is, a burning car is one of these sort of like symbols of protest against these sort of things too. I thought it was one of the best moments of the season.
It also, I agree with everything you say, and it clarified why is he going about it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because unfortunately, girl's more like a colonizer, and she's like, just pick up the phone, man.
Right? Yeah.
I'm talking about myself. I'm like, just get them to fly you to Carol. I'm thinking about collaborating. I'm thinking like whatever. It doesn't mean anything to accept their help. And I'm watching him, and I'm like frustrated. I'm like, why you just take their help? This is stupid. And part of me still thinks it's stupid, and it still seems like a death wish. But in that moment, I felt deeply like this is why he does not want to give them any ground.
Yeah.
Here. It's really important to him. And you see why they cast this man, why they chose Paraguay, why everything about it made sense to me in that moment.
Yeah. It's a revolutionary act, right? And like when we think about these revolutionary acts, a lot of times they are things that we look at and say there's an easier way, right? Like there's an easier way to sort of get through these things. You're right. Like I think about like the like 64 like Democratic National Convention, right? And like Fannie Lou Hamer and them, and they're like, just take a few of these delegates, right? Like take some of these delegates and you can, get some sort of concession. And she's like, I'm not doing that. Like it's good. Like, yes, maybe it made you logistically tougher, but it's like my code is this is what we are owed, give it to her, so we're just going to leave. And I think like it's that same every sort of act that we have like that, we see people who are like there was like a compromise or a quote unquote easier way, and it doesn't matter. Like what I care about is the how is as important as what the end goal is.
The only show you're going to listen to that brings up the 64 Democratic Convention talking about Pluribus, I guarantee you. It's such a statement about, and what the show is about in a lot of ways, like how do we rebel? What does insurrection look like? What does it mean to stand up for things? And also what works?
Yeah.
Because I don't think either of their methods are like the most obvious. The Kumbas of the world seem to be getting more done.
Yeah.
But this was a big moment, like understanding why this man is the way he is. And then, he goes on and he keeps saying the thing he keeps practicing in English was, wait, hold on, I wrote it down because it was like, it's amazing. I am not one of them. I wish to save the world. Over and over. I am not one of them. I wish to save the world. But then he
reminded me of Princess Bride, right?
Okay, yeah.
The guy, my name is whatever.
Oh, yeah. My name is Inigo Montoya. Yeah. That's funny. He breaks down. He falls the Tunga Palm. And he passes out, and we know he's not going to die, obviously. We see a helicopter, which is interesting because they're doing it without his consent.
Right, yes.
You and I have talked about the possibility that maybe not everything they say is on the level.
Yeah.
But also raises another question, another mystery, which is why do they care so much about keeping these people alive?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's because they are going to, I would assume, in order to heal him, do like similar things to what they said they can't do to clone them, right? Like, I mean, to like convert them, right?
Maybe.
Because you have to give consent to like inject and get the stem cells
Right.
and all that
That
stuff.
could
But
be it. Yeah.
I would imagine that
Oh, I
they're
hope
going
not.
to not, I mean, like not like convert him, but to heal him, they're going to like, infiltrate his body, I guess,
They
in some
will.
sort of
Yeah.
way. Like
But
even just like stitch him up. It's kind of,
it's a violation of what they've said.
right. Yeah.
So I think that's interesting. So, but we'll see. Maybe somehow they miraculously get his consent before they do. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But, yeah, I'm fascinated by it. So we go back to Carol at the end. More golfing this time. This is something actually I would like to do. She golfs on an office building and hits.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. And of course, the golf swing was already pitch perfect. Like she could hit a golf ball because Carol plays golf.
Our
So.
girl, a lot of stereotypes colliding there.
Also, the gap because
Didn't think about that. She goes back and gets more fireworks. And then this is it. This is the breaking point. She sits outside. She's putting them off. She has one. She's just staring straight at it. This is her. I have nothing to live for. I'm at the end. I'm not full nihilism. It's a great scene. Whizzes by her head. Sets the house on fire. And then she goes to the home improvement store. Gets white paint. She stares at the O'Keeffe painting again, which I want to ask you what you think about that. We don't see what she's painting.
Yeah.
And at the end, Zosha pulls up, hugs her. She hugs Zosha, sorry.
Yeah.
And we see she has painted come back. What do you think of that scene?
So, I mean, again, like they've broken her down, like they've broken her down. And again, we all get broken down by these things. Like even if we're not talking about AI, we're talking about corporations or whatever. Like we're talking about a hive mind thing. And the hive mind sort of, as we know in society, kind of always wins, unfortunately. We do the things that we swear we're not going to do, but we do it because we get broken down, either by isolation or like, I'm going to delete Instagram off my phone. And then a month later, you're kind of like, I miss, like I want to like have this connection to people and I'm back and I want to do this thing. And, or even if it's like, I don't want to shop at this corporation thing, but I don't know where else to go to get that stuff, like it's
very
just
hard when you have a 2-year-old and you need a lot of stuff on Amazon. Okay?
You're right. Like it's tough. It's tough for everybody. Like it's hard to be off the grid in the way Manousos is. Like it's just impossible.
Purity test is hard to pass.
It's hard to do, and so she tried, and she's trying to live as well as she can doing it, and it won. And you can't really. I can't blame her for that at all. You can't blame her for that.
I think also like this episode, and this is, I think, again, part of why the episode exists and the gap and everything is she confronts the horribleness of the world and right now in a way she didn't when she was trying to solve the mystery, because she had a mission and she was never actually reckoning during. There were times like burying her partner, but she had a goal, she had action, she was busy. She wasn't like, this is what this world is going to be and what the rest of my life is like. This episode was like, okay, what does it mean for me to just try to muddle along, live in this world and just play this out? And she saw how miserable and desperate it is in a way that I'm like, kind of frankly, like the other 11 or 10 or what, like, how do they not, maybe they are, I don't know. It's like crazy to me that anyone is not in that at that realization, I suppose.
Well, I mean, but it's like it's what we talked about, that manufactured like community, like manufactured community of eventually it'll wear thin, right? It's I'm connected to you on Facebook but you're actually kind of alone. Like you can live in that for a while, I think. And she just doesn't have that. So it's hitting her a little bit harder. I think we don't know what the other people's are feeling right now.
I don't blame her. But I think it is a real commentary on loneliness just generally, and how it can take a second to kind of creep up on you, and how even the world's biggest misanthrope needs other people, even if those other people are not real people. Yeah. And it's sad. When she hugs her, it's sad. It's like pathetic. Yeah. Because she's smart. She knows it's fake. She knows this woman is not real.
Yeah.
And she does it anyways because she's hit the breaking point. So there's 2 more episodes left, I believe, unless I'm wrong. I saw 8 and 9.
Okay.
Lot to resolve.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've been thinking about, because Breaking Bad season 1 stopped early because of the strike, so it kind of ended abruptly. So we'll get I'm fine. My hope is that they also, this is breaking from a lot of other TV shows. We talked about the different tropes. Like, my hope is that they also come back to a regular, like, I don't have to wait 3 years for Pluribus season 2. Like,
Oh my God, please no. Although the show looks so expensive,
it does. Yeah.
I mean, the scenes of him driving are just so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Paradise came back. Paradise year after year, baby. Do the Paradise thing, please.
Is Paradise like dumb Pluribus? I say that in a complimentary way. I love it.
I love Paradise too, but it's
so like not heady at all.
Yeah,
it's like,
we'll be talking about the show we'll be covering it. Like the bunker, there's bunker.
One episode that's like a work of art.
Right.
Is that what you're talking about? Sorry, I
would just say like there's a bunker thing going on. There's like a lot of bunker shows that are out.
So many.
There are so many
post-apocalyptic. Silo on Apple also.
Do you like Silo? I've tried Silo.
It's visually very exhausting because it's so dark and grim. This is a good time to mention Fallout is another bunker show. We're gonna do season 2. That show's different though because a lot of it is outside the bunker, and that show's like fun, bright visuals, action. There's just a lot. I think Fallout is like the perfect video game show. We're gonna talk about it because it just makes you feel like you're in actually a video game, and it's like fun. Which is hard for a grim post-apocalyptic show. We're gonna do so I guess before we move on to the Golden Globes, we're gonna continue doing Pluribus, but we're gonna also start doing Fallout season 2 next week. The premiere comes out next week. I'm excited. I think Pluribus feels like it's got to keep going. Obviously they're not gonna resolve all of this by the end of the season,
but give it to me next fall, please. I need 3 years. I need this next fall. Give me the Paradise thing. Paradise comes back in February, baby. It is just dumb fun. Although again, there was weirdly one episode that was like amazing. The episode where they flash back. And so dissonant from the rest of the series because it's so well written. But like, come on, Sterling K. Brown takes a shower for no reason. I don't know why he took a shower. I don't know why I saw his butt cheeks.
I have some theories.
Yes, I have theories also. Yeah, I don't know, but other than that, I don't know why he took a shower, has sex with this woman, and he's like, that was cool, never mind. And they just kind of never speak about it again. She's just like, that was cool.
Big female audience, Paradise. So they were announced on Monday. There's just not. So a lot of the movies I haven't seen, so I don't want to get into like a super big. Like there's movies I want to see, like Hamnet. I'm still trying to decide if I can psych myself up to see that. For those who don't know the story, it's about the death of William Shakespeare. It's not a spoiler. It's the death of William Shakespeare's young son. I read the book while I was pregnant, which was like an absolutely crazy decision. And now I'm like, I have a son. I don't know if I can do it, but it's supposed to be really good. Golden Globes is funny because they do comedy and like One Battle After Another is a comedy. Obviously, that's going to win that. Drama, you've got Hamnet, Frankenstein, It Was Just an Accident, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. I know. And then comedy, you got Blue Moon, Begonia, Marty Supreme, which I also want to see. No Other Choice, Nouvelle Vague, and One Battle After Another. So, those 10, 12 movies are going to be coalesced into the big picture field right now. Do you have like strong feelings? And then they also have like a box office category, which is weird, where they're like biggest hits, and it has also Sinners is also in that category, along with like, like Avatar, whatever.
Yeah.
Do you like so David's written about Sinners, and there's a lot of discourse right now because all these year-end lists are coming out, and there's just so much to unpack here, right? Because the movie was a hit. There was a infamous Variety article where they were critical of the box office that was very misguided. And then a couple other critics didn't put Sinners on their final top 10, which kind of harkened back to that conversation. Yeah. But it's, it has a pretty good chance of winning. I mean, I don't know. I've watched Frankenstein, definitely not better than Sinners. But Do you feel like apprehensive about how it's going to be regarded in award season generally, if that makes sense? Because I think that's kind of the conversation.
So I have trained myself to prepare for award season for many, many years. As somebody who's like covered and written about award season probably for like 15 years, these things like Grammys, Oscars, all that stuff, I prepare myself for the absolute worst, because to have done this is to have witnessed some of the largest travesties that you could imagine in award history, i.e. Beyonce for like years and years. But like these things, like I don't have high expectations for Sinners, and then adding in the politics of Coogler and the like what he did with the movie in terms of the rights and getting the movie back, and like how that sort of goes against what you want to reward in Hollywood, and that influences your voting. So I don't really have high hopes for how Sinners is received in these awards things. I don't have expectations for it to be received well. Maybe I'll be surprised. I think what I kind of don't like, which is kind of the thing that it should be expected, is there's like an end of the year Sinners one battle after another like thing where they're pitted against each other. I think possibly because they're the two movies that everybody on the list that everybody's seen, but they are kind of in conversation based on some of these lists, based on some of the themes that I think is going to dominate the way that the end of the year stuff gets talked about.
Yeah, right. That's a good point about those two movies. And David and I, we've had conversations about one battle after another and sort of the muddled politics. I'm still thinking through that, man, because I saw it, and then I texted you like at Target. I was like, here are all my thoughts right now. And then I read you sent me a great piece about sort of the real world.
Brooke Obie's piece, which is really good. Shout out to her. Her Substack is really good. She reviews movies. It's really good.
So that story is, I think, that piece I agreed about like how it was critical of like the Teyana Taylor part of the movie and how it was positioned. And I think my overarching thought was like, first, both Sinners and One Battle After Another. It's interesting because one's a drama, one's a comedy, whatever. Yeah. They're both unbelievable action movies.
Yeah.
That in itself is kind of a crazy thing. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, the two heavyweights right now are like on their face to me, just like these unbelievably entertaining.
Yeah.
Whatever you think about either of these movies, from start to finish, I was like,
locked in. Right.
Which I never am anymore because movies are so damn long. Like zillion hours long.
Yeah.
So on it, that on self, cinematically, just the writing, the directing, the entertainment factor, both just 10 out of 10 for me. I think the politics of One Battle Another, which is another movie that's also about, on its face, racial politics. Like I struggle with, because parts of it I felt like were very coherent, particularly the middle third with the Benicio del Toro scenes. And you and I talked about this. He's nominated. I thought he was awesome in that movie. I think everyone in that movie was nominated, if I saw correctly, whereas in Sinners, it was only Michael B. Jordan.
It was only Michael B. Jordan. Delroy Lindo. Justice for Delroy Lindo. Come on, man.
He is the person outside of, I was thinking about this, Michael B. Jordan. Actually, I kind of think it was better than Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I love Michael B. Jordan. He's an okay actor, But One
and also the love interest, his love interest.
The one of their love.
One of the woman.
He's good too. Yeah, they're small roles. I mean,
right, smart. Yeah, but Delroy Lindo, best supporting actor, like that should have been a lot.
He was great in that movie. He was the one who when I was thinking through like whose performance really resonated with me and was complex and funny, and interesting, and just like great. He's by the way great in literally everything he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a long conversation about One Battle After Another. There were parts of it I had mixed feelings about the Teyana Taylor stuff. I know what they were trying to do. It was like very like blaxploitation, like here's almost a caricature. But I don't know if they pulled it off. And then whereas the second part of the movie about Benicio del Toro and what it really takes to kind of connects to Pluribus in some ways to have a revolution, I thought was like amazing and beautifully shot. So, I don't know. I don't feel like any of this 12 movies is for me personally, and I haven't seen some of them, something that they'll run away with. Yeah. But I share your like apprehension of some of the culture war feeling around all of this.
Yeah, I mean, that's just where we are with all of this stuff. I mean, Sinners. Sinners to me, Sinners is so. This is the rare thing that I feel about Sinners. I didn't see it. I've not seen it again. I saw it in the theaters, and it's like such.
Really?
It's such like a thing that I want to like cherish that I don't even want to see. I just feel like I'll see it again, but the movie going experience was a perfect movie going experience. Like to be there, when the screen widens when they're in the thing, like that sort of just like the way. And of course, there's like biases as a person from Mississippi, as a person who wrote about sort of like this time, and is like this felt like something that was written, like made for me. Like this was something I felt like deeply personal about. I wrote far too many words about it in an article about how much I love this movie. And it was a perfect experience for me watching Sinners, right? Which is another reason why I'm not sort of like resting any faith or like anything on what the awards are for it. It just feels like an incredible movie. And unfortunately, when you have that Variety article, when you have the year end things, when you have all this stuff, it gets muddled when juxtaposed with the movie that had, one after another had, it's one of those movies like Civil War was kind of like this. I think Don't Look Up was kind of like this, like where it feels like you're above, like the person behind it, the director in this case, it sort of feels above the fray, and they're just kind of like poking fun at everybody.
It was very cartoony too,
yeah,
like similar to Don't Look Up. Yeah. It's I saw a couple of things. Like the Variety, there was a couple, like a Variety critic who didn't have in their top 10, and it's like that, and people were like, the Variety again. It's like, no, it's a different person. Like he just the guy, these are his tastes. It's fine. You don't have to. But and then I also saw which director was it? Christopher Nolan saying like the musical scene in Sinners was like, people were like, he's making a statement, and I'm like, wow, everything about this movie might not be it. Maybe he just literally thinks it was. Another thing about Sinners, by the way, the white guy I thought was going to be Jack O'Connell, who plays the villain. I thought he would be nominated for. He's unbelievable. In that movie.
They didn't want another Creed situation.
I guess maybe that was okay. Yeah. So
but he was great. I thought everybody in Sinners was really great. Michael B. Jordan, who I think is a very limited actor in a lot of ways, that was his best performance. I think everybody did some of their best work in Sinners, and I think everybody could have gotten something, just like one battle after another. I felt like everybody did incredibly well.
Yeah, the One Battle After Another had the most nominations by far, and like I'm still thinking through that movie. I wish we had done a like episode, because I almost want to like I've had multiple conversations with people friends of mine who are either writers or directors, and some of them, and I was like, I didn't like the Teyana Taylor part, and I read this, they were like, well, no, but here's some things I did like about it, and they were, and that part being directly in contrast to the Benicio del Toro part, and the piece you sent me had a piece that I didn't agree with, where it talked about how like Leonardo DiCaprio is the white savior. I don't think it's a white savior movie at all. He's a clown. Like,
I think one thing I appreciate about the movie, they were intentional about, he doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do anything. He is not the hero of the movie. Right. So I think that's he
doesn't save anybody. Also appreciated in the movie the riot scene, and when they are showing the camera stays on the enactors of the violence and not the victims, right? Which is why I absolutely like Civil War is one of the worst.
I haven't seen it.
I hate that movie. And where they focus the lens on the Black and brown people who were murdered and killed, and it's like gross and disgusting to watch. And this one was intentional about saying like, we're going to focus on the people committing these atrocities and not these folks who are on the other side of it. And I thought that there was a really intentional things, which is why that first 30 minutes with Teyana Taylor.
So it's kind of like are they in conversation with each other? Is he trying to do something? Is he trying to like make a statement about that point? Because like there's a scene where like Sean Penn's looking at her, and it's like so obviously it's meant to be critical and to mock, but did it earn that? I think I
didn't feel mocking enough. It felt too. It didn't
like
feel.
You felt like you were being invited to join in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah. Chase Infinity, who was nominated, the young woman who's exceptional in it, she's
Yeah.
the hero of the movie. Like,
Yeah.
So, anyways, very complicated movie, but I think I'll just go back to my original point. It was entertaining as hell. So was Sinners. Kind of crazy that the two heavyweights are like legitimately entertaining. Not like this is not the year of the artist or Roma or whatever.
And like great movie going experiences as we're talking about like the death of the movie theater and all this stuff. Like they were both legitimately, whether you agreed or like you go, like those are movies I feel like you kind of have to go to a theater to experience, which I guess Weapons is kind of like that too, because there's been this like dichotomy of people who went and saw it in theaters and people who saw it at home were like, I don't get what the fuss is about.
Which is also a big deal right now, like Netflix taking over the studios.
Yeah.
How many movies are going to be in theaters? What are we going to, have the delicate nature of theater business as it is.
Yeah.
So TV wise, just want to have a couple quick conversations. Best TV show, drama. Some of the shows, Pluribus is already on here, along with The Diplomat, The Pit, which I want to recap as well. We love that show. Severance, Slow Horses, and The White Lotus. I only have one large bone. I'd like to hear if you think anything was left out. Not having Andor is insane to me.
Yeah, so I'm still working through Andor. I
crazy.
Season 2 is like supposedly the like incredible.
They're both incredible. I don't understand the unwillingness of awards people to acknowledge the fact that this is one of the best written, best acted, most socially relevant shows on. I know it's like Star Wars genre, whatever. I don't give a hell. Like, there's no world in which the last season of The White Lotus even holds a candle to the last season of Andor. So that's the only thing I want to say.
But when was the last time a Star Wars anything has gotten nominated for anything? Like it just feels like they're not even going to watch Star Wars and include it in this sort of thing. Which is unfortunate because we've seen that like horror has broken through this year. And
that's a great point. Yeah.
We don't know. I mean, the same thing about Alien. Like there were some performances in Alien that we thought should have gotten it. But Alien sci-fi has not had its moment in the same way. Well, sci-fi had its moment years ago with Arrival, I think,
like
and then
genre sci-fi.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll say is Diego Luna was nominated. The woman who plays Dedra on Andor is the best actress on television. She's unbelievable, and she's so good. I mean, amongst the other shows, like I don't really have, like, there's nothing else that jumped out to me. Is like, I guess Alien Earth wasn't nominated. Alien Earth is not. Thought that was interesting. More so from an acting perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Task also liked.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that.
I
thought Wood Harris. This is one that I probably didn't think was going to get nominated. Probably deserved. Wood Harris was great in Forever, which again is a show that I've touted all year as like a good rom-com.
For like a comedy, or I don't know if they would put it as that. I'm looking at because the best. I mean, there's some really awful comedic choices personally, but we don't have to get into that. Best TV series of musical comedy were Abbott Elementary, The Bear.
I quit on The Bear. I quit on it.
Last season is just not watchable.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah,
Hacks, which I like. Nobody Wants This. Only Murders in the Building. The Studio.
The Studio, man. People love The Studio. They love
It's about TV. Awards people love stuff about the industry.
Which the Kool-Aid episode is legitimately an incredible episode of TV.
It's pretty funny. It's really funny. Limited series I thought was interesting because it includes Adolescence, which is a show that you and I have really strong feelings about. The kid, everybody in that show is nominated for everything, as they should be. Unbelievable performances. I mentioned no supporting actors he would be for TV. I thought Babu Cisse from Alien should have been nominated. And the other one, I did think Tom Pelphrey, who plays Robbie in Task, was really
he was
nominated,
good,
and not him. I would have added. It's all these White Lotus people. I'm like, in the Jason Isaacs and White Lotus who does the same scene over, and the dad, the Duke dad, is not better than Babu Cisse in Alien.
Yeah.
Like, watch.
I mean, White Lotus makes these people feel good. Like I just feel like that's what the thing about White Lotus. It makes you feel. White Lotus makes you feel like you're watching something. It's one of those things that makes you feel good about having voted for it because you feel like it's saying something when it's actually not really ever saying anything.
My girl Carrie Coon, obviously, I support her in everything she does, but this last season was not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. I object to it. First season was good. Second season was pretty good too. Yeah, it's just
first season. Yeah, I liked the first season. Second season was kind of
yeah. They also had a podcast category.
Yeah, snubbed. Viewer discretion snubbed. Come on, guys.
It's just like the most popular podcast. I did think it was funny that they avoided all politics podcasts.
Yeah.
They're the most popular podcasts in America. So it ended up being like Smartless, Dax Shepard, Amy Poehler, Mel Robbins, Call Her Daddy up first. All right. Sure.
Viewer discretion next year. Now that I know that this is a thing, we're going up. Why do you think I mentioned the Democratic National Convention earlier in this? Which was award bait, baby.
I do want to, because we're gonna do the Oscars, and I am gonna make it my mission to watch some of these movies over Christmas, and I will watch Hamnet. I'm gonna bring myself to. You gotta watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. I used to watch all the Oscar movies before, and then once I think right around when La La Land was nominated, I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Such a bad movie.
It's a terrible movie.
So bad.
Let's explain jazz to John Legend.
It just everything about it. I actually rewatched it on a plane. I was like, is this as bad as I remembered? And
it's a terrible movie. Can't believe.
I'm a stone too.
The best thing that happened in that movie, the best thing was Moonlight. The way it happened.
An incredible movie. I do want to watch Sentimental Value too. That's by Trier, who did. I don't know if you ever see this movie. It's the same actress too. The worst person in the world, which is a pandemic watch that will haunt me forever. It's like about like a kind of vaguely aimless woman in her 30s in like Scandinavia. Anyways, it's an amazing movie. Marty Supreme, I want to watch.
Yeah,
that looks fun.
Yeah.
I'll get to Begonia. I watch all that guy's movies too, so we'll get to these. But anyway, so next week.
Whoa! We're not talking about the biggest, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Come on, we're not gonna ignore the smashing machine, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, nominated for a Golden Glove. Round of applause for Dwayne. Round of applause. All those Jumanji movies, and you did it. You did it finally.
Right now, somewhere. In a small workshop somewhere in LA, a team of tailors is working on the tightest suit you've ever seen. Next week, we're going to continue with Pluribus, and we are going to start watching Fallout. So, guys, if you have a week to watch season 1 of Fallout. It's really good. It's on Amazon. Yeah. I should mention. It's really entertaining and really fun, and it's not as heady, but it's just a lot of fun.
It's a good time. Yeah,
we do a lot of apocalypse shows, so look back then.